I think I have to add myself so you can hear me. Hey, salutations, kindred spirits, greetings, and welcome to our live stream. Here's our topic du jour, but you probably know we're talking about FISM. You clicked on the thumbnail. You saw the title. You might have seen that we have a guest today, and I see no reason to dilly-dally. I want to welcome our current North American champion of, is it close-up magic, or you just champion of magic?
Close-up magic.
Blaise Serra in the house.
Thank you so much for having me.
Last summer, you captured the honor of representing North America at the upcoming FISM. Crazy. And you are our current national champion, North American champion.
Thank you so much. Yes, it's crazy. It's I'm so excited. I've been nonstop up until the moment that I was asked to help out with a certain project. I was nonstop, just constantly just drilling this act, trying to get ready for July for Torino, and hopefully I can do North America proud.
Yeah, like that's not enough. Just prepping for a FISM run. You're a pretty busy professional over at Speakeasy Magic, where you appear regularly in New York City. And I understand you're a busy gigger too. I had a gentleman in yesterday who said he booked you when he needed someone good. Adam Shire was in the shop.
Oh, no. Adam is amazing. Adam is incredible.
Boy, that's an understatement. Yeah. He's like certifiable genius.
Yeah.
So someone at the FISM over decided that they needed to like chop you down a notch to keep you busier, and like you maybe need to jump on the bandwagon and help promote some of the events that are going on here.
Who's got time? He's got time, right?
I know. We make time. You know, I find you can make time when you set your mind to it.
Yeah.
So let's just talk about FISM a little bit for those that might not know what it is. The Fédération Internationale Société de Magie. What do they meet? Every 3 years? Is that what it is?
Yes. So every 3 years, there is a world championship of magic, and it's been going for a long time. So over 70 years. And this began in France, and so it's just like the Olympics in that it's a different country every time. So the last time was in Quebec, and the time before that was in South Korea. I believe before that was in Rimini in Italy, actually. And
so traditionally a European event. They did have it on a North American shore last year, but generally it's a European thing.
Yes. Yeah, traditionally a European event.
And they award like championships in multiple genres. Like they'll have close-up, stage, manipulation, comedy, mentalism, right?
Yeah, so they have championships for all the different genres of magic, and then they also after awarding the winners of those different genres, then they have what's called the Grand Prix, where there are 2 winners that are selected for the overall title of close-up and stage magic. So if you see there, it's divided into various categories. Close-up includes card magic and micro magic and coin magic, and then stage magic includes general magic, manipulation, comedy magic.
Right. So you enter in one of those categories, and then you are eligible for the grand prize, which exactly. a close-up artist could win that. Even.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Well, a close-up artist could win the close-up Grand Prix.
Oh, I see.
So it's two separate awards.
There's 2 Grand Prix awards. I see. Cool. Yeah. Cool. I'm learning stuff today. Nice. And this year, and in addition to the standard events, we have some new events, and we're here to talk about those. I forgot that they added the street magic this year, which I'm just thrilled with. You know, street magicians, of course, I'm biased, but they maybe bring more magic to the public than anyone. You know, it's hard for the public to see magic in the wild, and street magicians, there's hundreds of them out there doing 10 shows a day around the world. Hundreds of thousands of eyeballs daily, you know, by these guys. So it's really nice to see that they're getting some representation at FISM.
Mm-hmm.
And then the subject we're here to talk about today, for the most part, is the World Championship of Online Magic. How about that? We're moving into the future and being recognized by the powers that be.
Yes. So finally, FISM is opening up to this new category, or two new categories, like you said. There's Street Magic and Online Magic, and this is a really big step, a really big milestone that we're opening this up. It's technically what's considered a demonstration category because it's brand new, and so there's a particular procedure for this, just like how the Olympics has a very particular process for new events to be added in, and you have to kind of try them out and see how they go at various events and things. So this, as we're figuring out the best way to kind of regulate online magic, then this is the first time that they're doing it, and they're going to have the demonstration category and of both Street Magic and Online Magic at the World Championships this time. And then depending on how it does, hopefully very well, then we have the chance of this becoming a permanent fixture, a permanent event every year or every 3 years.
So they give it a they give it a run. They see if it's well received, or if it should be a thing. And in my opinion, both of these things should. Of course, again, I'm biased, but I know we were talking about the importance of online magic yesterday, and obviously you feel it's important, or we wouldn't be having this discussion today, because you're a busy guy and you could be doing other things than promoting someone else's, event, right? So,
well, totally. I mean, but it's important. I think that it's really important to, especially the magic community as a whole, and especially the parts of the magic community that I feel most in touch with, that have impacted me the most as a performer and creator.
So talk a little bit about that and educate, some of the people, like what's happening in your world online, and, maybe get some people excited about the potential of magic in the current age.
Yeah. Well, I obviously everyone has seen, this is something that a lot of people knew, but especially COVID kind of proved to everyone about the fact that, online magic, that the screen is its own stage and it deserves to be treated that way. And that online magic isn't competing with other types of magic. Rather, it's just its own medium. The kind of magic that you do online for a camera is different than the kind of magic that you would do in a close-up setting. The same way that the magic you do in a close-up setting is different than you would do on a grand stage for Grand Illusion. So it, and I think that it really benefits. We all benefit each other as a community. Like, people become fans of magic through a lot of different ways. And like you were saying, they might become a fan of magic because they saw a free show on the street, or they might become a fan of magic because they saw a free video online. And
now more than ever, I think this is the medium where people are consuming their entertainment, right? So it's much more likely that the average public is going to see a magician on social media than, say, on television.
Oh, yeah. And you look at the viewership of magic, it is undeniable. You see people like Xavier Mortimer, you see people like Julius Dean, who have been able to crack a particular code with understanding how to do magic content that can do outrageous numbers of
repeatedly
views.
Generate tens of millions of views. I think Mortimer has over 1 billion views altogether, some crazy number like that.
I don't know if he still is, but I think for the longest time he was the #1 most viewed page, both on Facebook and YouTube for shorts and that kind of content.
It's not all he does, right? This is just, he uses the social media to, I think, accentuate his other endeavors, or just as part of his artistic expression as a magician.
Absolutely. Xavier Mortimer has a show in Vegas, and that's at night, yet he's
had a show. Actually, Adam and I talked about Xavier yesterday, and he said that was the most magical show he's ever seen. It's currently not running right now, unless I'm mistaken.
I'm not as up to date about his current show, but I know at least there have been many periods in time where he's been crazy active on social media and still doing his live performances in Vegas. Right. And he was just waking up at like 5 a.m. to begin work as if social media was his day job. And then he would do what everyone thinks of as his actual job, which is the show at night, which he also spends a ton of time obsessively trying to create more and improve all the time. So, he and Jackie Yu and Patrick Kuhn, a lot of our judges are living proof that you can not only, do really well with Magic online and have integrity with Magic online, but also that doesn't have to be a pivot for you. You don't have to transition to becoming an online magician and suddenly you've lost touch with yourself or whatever. You actually can still be a performing magician and just have this benefit you as another stage that you can reach.
Testify. Yeah, and as a working professional, if you intend to do magic as a living, it's going to be paramount to establish a social media presence. If you want to book some higher end gigs, this is where, you kind of can back up your talk with the walk on, you say, go look at my Insta. You got a couple thousand folks there following you, and you got some fancy clips people can look at. I feel like this is the modern sizzle reel for, instead of, when I was coming up, you'd send someone a VHS tape or DVD. Nowadays, they just go look at your Instagram,
They care about your social media. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe your website, but even that's not as relevant, I don't think. If you have a good social media presence, a website's almost irrelevant.
Social media and word of mouth are kind of where it's at. That's kind of the most important things, and then, like you're saying, if someone stumbles upon your website and then you have a really great website, sure, maybe they're going to be really impressed by how well designed your website is. But I don't know, with Squarespace and everything, the general quality of websites is pretty good, so I think that it's mostly people are going to care if they see that you have an actual following, that you have this social proof of that your performance is good. And you either get social proof from word of mouth, someone saying this is the best thing I've ever seen, you have to get this for your event, or someone, you see the numbers and you go, oh, this guy has a lot of engagement, he's getting so many views and everybody really likes this, so it must be good. And the thing is that as you become a professional magician, I think that you find that like pricing is so arbitrary. It's kind of like the guys who have an extra zero on their rate just were the guys who decided one day to add an extra zero to their rate and then decided to not take it down from that. And if they didn't get that rate, then they just were cool with it because they got less gigs for that higher amount, and it's like, I think that by building a social following, you're able to kind of justify a rate in someone's mind. Someone can
completely,
someone can look at you and they can be like, okay, well, there's all of these different people that I could book. And you can either be a race to the bottom of like, I want to be the cheapest in my area so that I always get the most work, or you can try and have some other kind of thing that allows people to, in their head, justify like, oh, this person must be of higher value, know?
And, we've got Doug Kahn coming over. He's got 1 million followers online, And I did add extra zeros once I started getting those followers. So it's true. Yeah. So the alternative may be to working hard and building up numbers the old fashioned way. You just go online to FISM and win this online magic competition. So let's talk about this a little bit more, shall we?
I know I tend to ramble.
No,
so
I was hoping we'd wander around the garden a little bit and just talk about magic in general. But we are here to let people know how they can participate in this World Championship of Online Magic. I will encourage the viewers to watch Chris Ramsey's video on the subject. And you were live with some of the jury panel earlier today. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah. So we have a bunch of different streams that are coming up with a lot of the different judges. So tomorrow night, I'm going to be live with Ekaterina. Today, this morning, I was live with Patrick Kuhn and Jackie Yu. And you can see those live streams up on the Instagram page. They're like immediate, raw, full, unedited ones. And then we're going to also edit clips and post them up on our various social media as well. So you can.
And is this the FISM Instagram? Is there links on here probably to get
yes, so socials? It is it's the new social media that's for specifically the Online Magic World Championship page. So so if you go to at Online Magic World Championship, which is a long tagline, but at Online Magic World Championship on Instagram or TikTok, then you'll find it. And we also have a YouTube page. And the submissions, as the submissions come in, then the people who apply are posted onto the social media as well, which I think is a really exciting opportunity because there are a lot of really great Instagram communities, people like Global Magicians that share online content and help people who don't have that exposure to be able to blow up and to get that attention. A lot of creators are able to get awareness because of the various, share pages. And so I think what's great about this is you don't have to wait for someone to discover you. Instead, you can join this competition. You can just submit a video and you're going to be posted right there alongside all of these videos, which I'm trying to get these videos to blow up. So the goal is that, with this combined effort, we all can get this page featuring you to blow up together,
So this is a great path for, like you said, someone to get recognized in the field. For example, your path to FISM is arduous the word? I don't know. You had to go to different local competitions and be represented just to get to the competition, to get to FISM was costly and timely and work.
It was absolutely a long process. Yeah. I mean, you have to win one of the FISM qualifying competitions in order to then qualify, or you have to score above a certain point threshold at the FISM qualifying competition. Yeah. So that was definitely a long process because I didn't want to jump into the North American Championship as my first ever competition. I'm really glad I didn't, because I learned a lot of things from the first one that I did. So I joined another competition before that, and yeah, suddenly along this process, you're flying around the country competing to begin this journey.
Serious
this you can just at home film a 90-second video and just pour your creativity into those 90 seconds and just see what happens, and have a chance to be featured as one of the top 20 finalists, played for all of the top magicians in the world, and have these top magicians be able to find out about you and, be connected with them.
Let's talk a little bit. I got a question from Tim Askin here. He's wondering how they picked the jury. Do you know how these luminaries came to be?
It's a good question. I mean, I've just been brought on since the jury was already selected and everything. The thing was already in full swing since I was brought on to kind of help with, hosting these interviews and kind of organizing events. However, if you look at all of the judges have been able to achieve something really distinguished in a digital format. Although we do have some announcements that are going to be coming up about some additions to the jury panel that expand us beyond people who have just done well in the digital format to also, television and stage and just more of classical magic,
Will the public, will the views or the public's reception to the videos posted, do you know if that will weigh on the judges? Someone will win this. Will the public opinion be part of the vote, or will it be just the judge and jury?
Yeah. So it's, yes, the public opinion will matter, but in probably a little bit different way than people might expect. And and just to finish up that previous question, if you look up at the jury, these are all incredible people who have all achieved immense success in various, fields of especially online or television magic. It's like these are some of the biggest people in the world when it comes to online magic. And so, I think that who better than them to be able to judge magic from both perspectives, But anyways, so your question about the audience vote, if you think about it, right? At FISM, because the goal of this is to try and take something as unique as online magic and then to be able to apply the same artistic standards that FISM has worked so hard to establish for all of these years to it, and to have that FISM grading criteria, scoring criteria applied to online magic. So yes, just the same way that the judges in the room with a performer will factor in the audience reaction. If someone gets a standing ovation, then that is definitely a huge part of their entertainment value score. But you have to also remember that that entertainment value is one of 6 criteria that are important to these judges. And you have the magic atmosphere and you have the personality. And one thing that you'll hear from a lot of FISM judges is that whether you personally enjoyed the routine or not, whether it was your personal favorite or not. As a judge, you have to keep in mind, like, and I'm not a judge, so I don't want to speak on their behalf. They have their own priorities, but I hear a lot of judges talking about how, like, whether or not it's your favorite act, you have to factor how much did they pay attention to the different criteria? How much did they try and show their personality? How much did they try and create this atmosphere of magic? How much did they try and add a little bit of narrative or character or justification to what was happening instead of just a string of random effects? How much did they pay attention to originality? All of those factors are something that the judges care about beyond just the audience vote. That being said, they are going to be using the audience vote and to try and make it not just a popularity contest. The 20 finalists then are actually going to be played at the World Championship, and then we're going to have the audience vote in person and submit based on their actual viewing back to back of those 20. So I think that it'll, hopefully that will make it so regardless of people's, following online, you can objectively just watch the videos back to back and you can get a sense for the audience perspective and the judge's perspective.
There's the voting process right there. So they're staying true to the FISM, OVRA, and I know that's important to this organization. And, I'm sure some people are not happy to have online magic represented. I'm sure there's some, some of the older fellas, and I'm not calling out all the old guys, some young ones too, probably think magic should just be a live performance art, but guess what? It's not anymore. They probably hated Mark Wilson when he brought magic onto television back in the 50s, or Don Allen back in the day.
Yeah, well, it's like you can either have the mentality that I hope one day people stop exposing random effects on TikTok, or you can accept that the people who are exposing those random effects on TikTok didn't have the same barrier to entry to the secrets that you did. So they don't feel this ethical dilemma with exposing them. And so, it would be nice if we weren't randomly exposing stuff and not crediting things. But instead, we could look at it from the positive perspective of, if all of the basics start to become more kind of commonplace and the average audience member start to become slightly more like a FISM audience member, then it's not like laymen suddenly you can't watch magic anymore. Everybody still is going to love magic. But what it's going to mean is that people might start to develop a palette. Like, they can actually kind of, tell what magic they like, and they might be able to feel what seems newer and more unique and original, because they're like, wow, I've seen a lot of magic and I've never seen this before.
I think you'll find this,
seeing more magic is great.
This vibe happens like in other parts of the world. Like, I think in Asia or Japan, it's commonplace to know a little bit more about how the magic effects are accomplished, and still the public is able to enjoy their of course they are. Look at myself. Like, I know all the secrets. What did I do all month? Ran around to every freaking magic show I could go see. Happy to go absorb the most wonderful art form in the world. Music, drama, storytelling, lights, sound. The magic has so many things that we can enjoy and share with our audience, that, the secret is just like this much important,
Absolutely. Yeah, there is so much artistry in magic, and that's why magic is so cool, is because it's everything, and it can be everything. It's all of as long as what you're doing is pushed to the point where it's astonishing, you can do anything. And magic is your home, and this umbrella, this community, you can find a home within it, even if it seems like it might not be your thing because you're like, I'm not into card tricks. It's like, magic is so huge and expansive. And that's why I think it's great that the World Championship is taking this step and saying, hey, we want to recognize that the biggest opportunity for people to find out about magic and see great magic and where they're watching magic is online. Like, there are way more people who have seen videos of Xavier Mortimer than like have ever attended the show Speakeasy Magic that I'm a part of in its history of years. And he posted one video and that was able to reach so many. And so I think we're able to be stewards of this art form by promoting the people who have found that the screen is their stage, and the people who have found a way to do it really well. We should highlight those people. And I think it's like, yeah, you can either keep complaining about people exposing stuff on TikTok, or you can just be a better teacher, and you can actually be the teacher that it helps their students to appreciate the crediting and the history, and gives better information than the people who just learned something 5 minutes ago and are trying to teach
and
it.
boy,
And
boy do we need
cares
more of
about
that. Some better
You know?
educators in the online sphere. Like, we have some really amazing performers and people doing great work in the the short form and even the long form sometimes. But yeah, really, most of our new students go online to learn, and there's not a lot of old wise guys, putting effort into teaching them well when they show up. But that's a subject for another day. Let's talk a little bit more about the community that you were talking about, because you had some visionary ideas about how members of various Magic communities, like we were on my Discord last night, you jumped in. Always happy to see your face on Discord, which is a great platform.
I love Discord, man. I'm on Discord an unhealthy amount. It's not good.
But it's like the meeting ground, and originally for a gamer community, but it just is great for Magic, right?
Yeah, I love Discord, and it's an amazing platform. There are so many different Discord servers. And yeah, it's a great place where you're able to, it's almost like having a 24-hour Zoom room that you can jump into. But on top of that Zoom room, you have really organized chat rooms that are for various topics. Not only do you have really organized chat rooms for those different topics, you can jump into any one of those text channels and it suddenly becomes a voice channel. And now you're talking with other people in person about a particular topic. It's just so much better than so many other platforms. And it's just like the Magic that I'm working on for FISM is Magic that is, I'm trying to push myself to take risks in front of an audience. I'm trying to literally do like the riskiest stuff that I can think of in front of an audience, to then be able to like, to try and push myself, because it's the World Championship. That's the goal. And magicians who just care about trying to put on the best show here and now wouldn't necessarily understand that. And I have so many friends that are like, no, you shouldn't waste your time trying to sort a borrowed deck. It'll never be as smooth as if you just switched the deck. And I'm like, yeah, but of course anyone's going to think that I could have switched the deck. I want to actually put the work into doing this thing. And it takes finding the community that actually believes in you and thinks that's a worthwhile endeavor, that believes in your ideas. And sometimes your local community aren't the people who are going to understand that aren't going to understand.
That's even hard to find these days. Like, you used to be able to find a local community, and in some of the bigger cities, it's still possible. But nowadays, like, most of the big clubs are dying out, and certainly not as thriving as, say, a good Discord or even a Facebook group, or there's other options even beyond Discords to meet online. Slight School has a thing they do, right? Like, it's a so there's a lot of options.
There are a lot of really good like community, local community, and it's like you find your community. Like, for example, there's the Grifters, which was a lot of people who used to be on the Illusionist Discord that have a very particular interest in mentalism and like very heavily narrative driven mentalism, and they do really beautiful things that are so different from like the card jams that you're going to find on Slight School, that or the Family, where they're just jamming on cards all day every day. You're not going to see them pull out a deck of cards. But you can find your own little online community. And I think that's so amazing. So I wanted to really highlight sub-communities. And so that was one thing that I actually requested, and we've recently added to the submission page. So if you go to where it says like apply now, and you can actually see the submission page for it. I think you have to scroll up. It's just near the photo of I think Xavier or whatever.
I think I jumped pages here. I might have gone.
You might have gone to the rules.
I'm on the rules page. Let me
copy. But I was like, I think that we really should try to both engage these sub communities and invigorate them, as well as we should be able to highlight them and give a chance to talk about how amazing these sub communities are online or local or wherever, that support people and give them a home in this Magic Magic space. And so that was what we added to the bottom of the submission page, is that competitors can actually choose. Oh, if you go to apply now, competitors can actually choose to be associated with a particular sub community. And so what I mean by that is, let's say that you're a cardist and you feel like your approach and your perspective to Magic is really influenced by your love of cardistry or your friends in the cardistry community, then you might want to put, I want to be associated with the cardistry community in my application. Or if you've gained a lot, for example, from the Conjure Discord, there are so many active people that are on your Discord that I know are going to want to apply and would want to say, hey, my sub community where I've found my home in the Magic community and met my friends from all around the world is the Conjure community. So this is,
and while we're here, let's note there is a video submission fee. I'm hoping to support at least 1, 2, or maybe even 3 of the students, kindred spirits from my Discord, and hopefully we'll get some video submissions rolling there and get the fellows excited about it. And if there's any barrier of entry for anyone that wants to participate, I got your back. And I know my Discord knows where to find me. And I've seen other people on my Discord already make some suggestions on how they can benefit other people that would submit a video as well. So, you know, there's room to help, and I'm helping if I can.
That's so kind of you. I'm just going to move my camera down because I realize I'm really looking so far away from the actual camera when I...
Blaise is over there struggling to be...
I'm struggling to actually be looking at you, Doug. But,
so there it is. Do you want to be associated with a Magic Club sub-community? And then this will give the performer, again, a chance not to just showcase themselves, but some of the things that they're interested in or, you know, associated with or excited about in their online life. Absolutely.
Like, for example, right after this stream, I'm going to be jumping on with the a really large Facebook group, which is the Bizarre and Mentalism Facebook group.
Tell the fellas I said hello.
Reach out to them, and so I'll tell the fellas you said hi, shalom, and we'll see what's up with them. Like I really think it's just going to be so exciting if we can engage different sub-communities. What we did today, I think, is really huge because we activated so many Discords together that are some of the biggest Discords in the world. We had the People's Palace of Prestidigitation, which has been around, I think, for like a decade. That one has been around for so long.
Has Discord been around that long?
That server has been around. It's got to be at least like 8 years or something. Cool. It's crazy how long that the People's Palace has been around. And then there's the Deceptive Design Discord, which has also been around for a very long time. My Discord, which was made during COVID. We have the Murphy's Magic Discord, which is blown up and has been huge.
Yeah, they're rocking it over there.
Yeah. We've got your Magic Guys Discord. We've got your Conjure Discord. We have another one that I think was the... what is it? Isn't that Magic Oval? But we've got a bunch of different Discords that are all united and all, you know, shouting this out and wanting to get their members excited. And like you said, I think that that's so amazing, you know, to support people. If, like you said, we hope that this is not a barrier to entry for anyone, the application fee. And if
it's necessary. Otherwise, the floodgates just
gets a little
too wide.
It gets too spammed.
It's unreasonable to ask a jury to go through, you know, that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's understandable that there's a small fee involved, and it's compare that to having to fly around the country to compete and maybe get into the competition. It's
exactly.
It's a minuscule amount to throw your name in the hat.
Oh yeah.
All right, bro. I know you've had a long day, and you've got a longer day still going over to talk to those bizarrists. They'll talk a lot. They'll keep you busy for an hour or two before you even get to the subject matter. So is there anything we missed today or something that you want to say? And also, if there's anyone watching that has a question, now's the time if you want to get one in.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'll be happy to respond if anybody has any questions. And yeah, I think that's been, this is just such an exciting project. I really think that this is going to be really great for the future of online Magic. And I hope that we can all kind of rally together as the people who believe in online Magic to, you know, even if you're not a content creator, if you know someone who does put themselves out there on a regular basis and post videos of themselves doing Magic on Instagram and is trying to get more views, we hope that you encourage them to throw their hat in the ring, because the goal is that we can all get more attention together, and we can all grow the Magic community, get more eyeballs on Magic, and also give the people who deserve this spotlight, who have put so much work into their online content, the home that they deserve at the Online Championship for a long time coming. So hopefully we get a permanent fixture there, and this can be a really big step for the whole future of Magic. So thank you so much for the time. I'm really glad that you brought me on to be able to chat about this thing. I'm stoked about it.
I think Ed speaks for everyone when he says, thank you, Blaise. Indeed.
Thank you, guys. I'm really happy to be here. This is
wants to see a Discord competition. How about that? A competition of a clash of Discords. I mean, in some ways,
I was hoping that it would turn into a little bit of that, like some friendly competition, because I'm hoping that the people on my Discord will put my Discord. I'm hoping the people from your Discord will put your Discord, and and also we have a lot of people that also share servers. So I'm curious which ones. That won't be mine to judge.
I'm gonna go out in Vegas and get some ringers though. Look out for those. Get some social media ringers. Let me see if I can find Xavier's home address.
It's so interesting because they I've gotten some messages. They're doing some new awards as well alongside this Online Magic Championship. They're going to be awarding some different categories like new podcasts and online platforms and things. Right. And I think that there's a I got a message earlier from someone saying, hey, I run a really large international Magic community, and we've been really growing and building a lot of momentum. We'd like to be able to put our hat in the ring because we heard about this thing. And I was telling them, well, the thing is, those categories they are still in the process, but I think that those are nominated internally by the judges. And that isn't a public vote. But I was like, the way that you can have your community be found out about by the judges is to encourage the people that are part of your community to compete and to put that they're a member. They want to be associated with you. And that's how we find out about all of these online communities that we didn't know about from around the world. Yep. So the goal is hopefully that'll draw exposure. And then those people, whoever are the big ones, they can be the nominees in the future.
Yes, indeed.
Hopefully it'll benefit all of us,
what a time to be alive. I've always felt I've had some wonderful opportunities in my life as a magician, but they pale in comparison to the modern student and what's available to them. And it's exciting. And you, young man, about to trot off to Italy in July to not just represent, but hopefully win, bring home the trophy.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's been interesting talking to the judges, and they talk so much about, for these online videos, how, story and showing your personality and character is really important. And I've been spending so much time focusing on the method for my act. So I've got my priorities in a row. I'm going to first try and get this thing off the ground as much as possible, the Online Magic Championship, and then I'm going to be working on my script for my act to try and make it as compelling as I can.
Cool. Well, I'll look forward to seeing at least some of this on the Discord, because I get to see it on Discord because you show that stuff off.
I'm just like, hey, Doug, try that. Hey, what do you think about?
And I say, I think you're insane, Blaise Serra. You do things no one else does, and for good reason. You are a world champion.
You should go outside. Yeah. Take a deep breath.
All right, bro. I'm going to kick you out of here, and you go hang out with those bizarrists and keep spreading the love and the joy. And always a pleasure to chat with you.
You're the best, Doug. Thank you so much for giving me the chance to talk about this on your platform. I really appreciate it. I'll let you get back to work, and thank you again. Yeah, have a great one, man.
Thanks, brother. Ciao. Best. Well, there we go. That's the scoop from Trick Supply in Las Vegas and Blaise Serra, our current champion of close-up Magic. I hope everyone has all the information that you need. If for some reason you didn't get it, you can leave a comment on this video, and I tend to those regularly, and we'll follow through with any questions that you might have there. And yeah, I did this from the middle of my day job, so it's time for me to get back to work. I got Steve Meyer's rubber products to put back on the shelf. We have a new trick from John Graham in. I got to go. I think this is a version of Paul Harris's Deep Astonishments. I love some Paul Harris, so we're going to dig into that. And did they put, I hung a new silk today. That's not the silk. We'll just end with this silk. Hey, folks, that is the end. And thanks again for sharing some time with us. Live from Las Vegas and Trick Supply, I'm Doug Kahn for Blaise Serra. Au revoir.